Hello, everyone, and welcome to Math 078, which is the pre-algebra course at STIC. So what I want to do in this video is just kind of briefly go through how to use Blackboard and how to use the MyOpenMath site that you'll use throughout the semester. Okay, so let me start with the Blackboard page and Blackboard site. So when you get into Blackboard, you'll start off with this welcome page. What we want to do is go over to the left here. You'll see an arrow to get the course menu. And let's talk about a little bit of this information. Let's go to the course information. So I'll click on that. And then it brings up several pieces of information. The first is the course syllabus, which is probably the most important. So actually, let me bring up the course syllabus and we'll discuss what's on the syllabus, how the grading is going to work. There's a schedule that's really important at the end of the syllabus. So let's discuss those things. Click on the syllabus. Okay, so most of this you can read on your own, but let me go over sort of the really important points. So first of all, again, my name is Jeff Gagnon. I'm going to have some availability for office hours on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. So if you want to ask questions, then what you can do is send me an email, preferably before Monday at 6:30, and then I will send you a link back, and then we can discuss those questions through Zoom. So there'll be like Zoom office hours. However, these are completely optional. If you're doing well with the material, you don't have to meet during the office hours. Completely optional. Let's see. There's 2 textbooks for the course here. Again, these are also optional. You might be able to get through this entire course just by watching my lectures and doing the homework and quizzes and exams, all the assignments on MyOpenMath. However, if you want some more resources, if you want some actual textbooks to read, then these are 2 free textbooks that I have linked here that you can use that cover all this pre-algebra material. Okay, I also have the individual sections linked into the Blackboard site. I'll show you that later, but if you want the entire textbook itself, you can use these 2 links. I would say if you're going to choose one of them, I would say the second one is probably more relevant. Both are good. The second one is probably a little easier to read. This is the David Lippman textbook. Okay, the next thing, and this is really important. So all of the homework, all of the quizzes, all of the exams, including the final exam, are all going to be given online using this free MyOpenMath assessment platform. So you need to first sign up for MyOpenMath. And the 2 pieces of information that you're going to need are right here. So you need the course ID. So in this case, for the spring 2022 semester, it's going to be 131373. And then the enrollment key is just MAT, and that's 078. So MAT 078, right? And that will get you into the course. So you want to sign up for MyOpenMath, and then you have access to the course. So basically, the purpose of this course is to either teach you concepts that you haven't learned in math before, or to review concepts that you have learned before, you may not have seen for many, many years. So we'll start off with just, basic whole numbers. Then we'll talk about fractions, a little bit of basic algebra and introduction to basic algebra. We'll talk about percentages, sign numbers, so positive and negative numbers, and how to use the different operations with those types of numbers. A little bit on geometry, a little bit on statistics. So really the purpose of this class is to review all that material that you may have forgotten, and it's to prepare you for Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 courses. So once you finish this course, then you can go on and take the Algebra 1 course. Okay, in terms of the grade for the course, it's going to be based on several different things. So first of all, homework. and there's approximately maybe 35 homework assignments total. There's going to be 10 modules that we cover. So, approximately like between 2 and 5 homework assignments per module. So that'll be 20% of your grade. There's going to be 9 quizzes, basically 1 quiz after each module, although I combined 2 of the modules into 1 quiz for one of them, but all the other ones have separate quizzes. So that'll be 20% of your grade. There'll be 3 examinations. So the first exam will be after the first 3 modules. Second exam will be after the middle 3 modules, 4 through 6. And then the last exam will be on the remaining 4 modules. And then finally, there's a final exam, which is cumulative, that covers the entire course. And that's 20%. And these 3 exams are 40%. So it adds up to 100%. Okay, in terms of the homework. So basically, again, there's going to be a homework assignment for each section that we cover, right, in the modules. And the way that I have the homework set up on My Open Math is that you have an infinite number of tries. So you can redo the homework as many times as you want, and I would highly recommend that you do that until you get it 100% correct. It'll really help your grade, and it'll help you understand the rest of the material. The other thing that's important is that the quizzes and exams are based on the same sort of questions that you were asked in homework. So if you understand all of the homework, then you're going to do well on the quizzes and exams. Okay, now in terms of when these assignments are due, that's basically at the end of the syllabus. So we'll get to that in a second. I basically have a schedule that's set up so you know exactly when everything is due. If you need help, again, I will be available on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8 by Zoom. So if you want to email me before that, if you want to go over some questions, and then I can send you a Zoom link and we can do that. It's completely optional. If you're doing well with the material, you don't have to ever meet with me. Okay. If you need more help, let's say you really want to meet with someone, every week to work on these topics, then if that's the case, then really you want to meet with a tutor, right? If you want to get regular one-on-one help, you really want to meet with a tutor. So to do that, I would contact the Student Success Center at STIC. And they can give you information on tutoring. There's a lot of resources, many ways to get free tutoring access at STIC. Okay, a lot of this stuff you can read on the syllabus yourself. Let me just go to some of the important points. So first of all, for the final grade, I'm pretty lenient on grading. So if you get around an 89.5, that's going to be an A for the course. So if your final average is around 89.5, that'll be an A. And basically, since this is a developmental course, you have to get at least a C minus. So you need at least a C minus, and then you can go on to take Algebra 1. Okay, and a C minus is around a 67, although sometimes I'll lower that a little bit. But you have to get somewhere an average of a mid-60s or higher in order to pass this course to go on to Algebra 1. Okay, so here are basically the 10 modules and what's going to be covered. And then let me get to the end here to the schedule. So let me explain the schedule. So I basically have this outlined by week. And then there's a column for, first of all, for the dates, right, for that particular week. And then the topics that you should be looking at for that particular week. And then the work that you should be completing that week. And then the last column here is just when the assignments are due. So for example, this first week, you should be working on module 1, which is on the whole numbers. So this is sections 1.1 through 1.6. You should watch all of my video lectures. It's really important that you watch my video lectures. And then start working on your My Open Math homework. What I would do is right after you watch the video lectures, I would just do the homework, right? While it's fresh, while you have a good understanding of the material, I would just do the My Open Math homework. However, in terms of due dates, I always give you a little extra time. So you'll notice here that that actual homework for for My Open Math on sections 1.1 through 1.6 is not due until the following Saturday. So that would be due Saturday, February 5th. Okay, then the second week, you would start working on module 2. This is a longer module and one of the more complicated modules on fractions, so I kind of split it up. So you're just going to work on the first 2 sections of module 2 on fractions. And you want to be working on the homework, and also you want to work on the quiz, My Open Math quiz, that was due for module 1. And then again, that'll be due the following Saturday. So February 12th, you'll have homework 2.1 and 2.2 due, and also the quiz on module 1. But I wouldn't, like, once you have actually looked at the videos and learned the material, I would just take the quiz and do the homework as soon as you can. I wouldn't necessarily wait. You have plenty of time if you need it, but I wouldn't necessarily wait. Like, you should do it while it's fresh, okay? And we're going to continue like this throughout the entire semester. So most weeks there's going to be new material, although you notice that some weeks there's not really new material. There's just an exam, for instance, like then this week right here, really your whole goal this week is to work on that first exam, exam 1. And also quiz on module 3. But again, it's not due until the following Saturday, but you should try and get things done as early as possible. Okay, these due dates are going to be strict, right? So you want to make sure that you get the work done by these due dates, all right? Otherwise, it just records the grade as a 0. Now, having said that, if you want to move ahead, right? Let's say that you're really learning this material quickly, you understand most of it, maybe some of it you knew from before, you just need a quick review. If you want to move ahead, everything is going to be opened up right at the beginning of the course. So you have access to all the information throughout the entire course, and you can always jump ahead. You can do this sort of self-pace if you'd like, and you can complete the course early if you want to. I've had a few students in the past, complete the course like a month early or something. So that's fine. If you want to do that, that's great. All right, so that's a syllabus, really important. Let me go back to the course information page. Okay, so the second handout I have here, attached here, a second PDF, is how to sign up for My Open Math. So if we click on that, again, it's the same information that was in the, basically that was in the syllabus. The 2 important things you need are the course ID and then this enrollment key, MAT078. So you want to go to this website, www.myopenmath.com, and then input your information and use that course ID with that enrollment key, and then you'll be all set for the course. Okay, so let me actually show you the My Open Math site. So there's links all over to it. I'll just click on that. So here's where you would click register as a new student, right? And then input that course ID, all of your information, course ID, and the enrollment key to get set up for the course. Now the actual course itself, let me get into that, into your particular course. Okay, so here's your course. Pre-algebra spring, make sure you're in the pre-algebra spring 2022. You should be, as long as you put that correct course ID in there. Now, the first thing you notice is there's a calendar, which is kind of nice. If you scroll through this, it has all the due dates, right, on those Saturdays listed on the side. So you know exactly when each particular assignment is due. So that's useful. And then to actually, to do the homework, let me just click on one of these modules. So here are the 10 modules, right? Modules 1 is on whole numbers, 2 is on fractions, and so on. And I combined 2 of them because they're a little shorter, 8 and 9, but basically you have 10 modules. So if you go to, say, module 1, click on this. These are the sections that we want to cover. Again, sometimes they're combined. So let me click on the first section, Introduction to Whole Numbers. Now you'll notice that the first thing, there's some videos that will do a review of some of the topics and go over some examples. These are not my videos. These are videos made by another mathematician who has volunteered a lot of time, put in a lot of effort into the My Open Math website itself. So if you find these useful, you can watch them, but these are just optional. You don't have to watch these particular videos. You want to watch my lecture videos, and I'll show you those in a minute. Okay, the thing that is really going to be important are the homework assignments. So for instance, homework 1.1, let me click on this. I'll go to student preview. So basically, in this case, we have like 23 questions. You're going to answer each of these questions, submit the question, and then you'll get instant feedback on whether you got the questions correct or incorrect. And again, with homeworks, you can do these an infinite number of times. You can do them over and over and over again. Keep practicing, make sure you get it correct. In terms of your grade, it's really going to help your grade if you do that, and try to get like nearly 100%, or if not 100% on your homework assignments. I would think that would be your goal. And then you can just scroll through. So if you go next, you get to the next question, and so on and so forth. Now, notice that many of these questions, and not all of them, but many of these questions will have a link here to a worked example. It's an example that's similar to what's being asked in the question. You can click on that for help. And again, this is not me, it's another mathematician who created all of these examples, and it'll guide you through a similar example. So often people will use these to get help on particular questions. Okay, so each week, right, with each module, you're just going to go and do the homework assignments, and occasionally you'll have a quiz. There's a quiz here. Quizzes are a little more high stakes. So for quizzes, the way I have it set up is you have 3 tries on a quiz. Okay, and then for exams, I give you 2 tries. So homeworks, you have an infinite number of tries. Quizzes, you have 3 tries. Exams, you have 2 tries, including the final exam. Right, so you have multiple opportunities. If you didn't do well the first time, you can always retake a quiz or retake an exam. And again, homeworks you can do over and over and over again. Okay, so that's your MyOpen Math information. Oh, one thing I should mention is there is a first little, this is optional, but you might find this useful. It's just how to enter in answers into MyOpen Math. So you may want to start by doing this intro to MyOpen Math module first. It's not going to be graded or anything, but it helps you and it shows you how to input particular answers into MyOpen Math itself. Okay, you may not need that. You can just like start with the homework, but if you find it confusing, then you can go to this intro to MyOpen Math. All right, let me go back to the Blackboard website. Okay, so we talked about MyOpen Math, the homework, and in quizzes and exams. Again, quizzes and exams are a little more high stakes, right? You only get a few tries, but you do get a couple of tries. All right, next thing is Blackboard discussions. So if we come back over here, see if I can get that. There it goes. I always have a problem getting this arrow to show up for the course menu. So if you click down on discussion board, then I have a bunch of questions here for each module, just motivating questions. So you may find it useful to post in the discussion board. You can kind of discuss with fellow students about the material. But again, this is completely optional. If you don't want to engage with the discussions, you don't need to, you don't have to. Although what I would say is the first one is sort of just, you know, a welcome, like give me a couple of sentences on who you are. So we kind of know, I get to know some of the students in the course. I would actually respond to that. I would post something to the first discussion forum here, the welcome forum. But the other ones, it's completely up to you. If you want to discuss some of these topics in discussion sections, please feel free to do that. And I will probably once or twice a week, I will look at discussion posts and respond to them. Okay, but again, completely optional. Let me go back to the course information. Again, extra help. I will be available Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8, right, via Zoom. If you want to meet during that time, send me a link, right? Send me a link before Monday at 6:30 so that I can, or sorry, send me an email before Monday at 6:30 and I can provide you with a Zoom link so that we can meet. Again, completely optional. If you're doing well with the material, don't worry about this. Okay, another way, if you have like a quick question, and some students were doing this last semester, which is fine, it's great, is just send me a quick email. Just use my jgagnon@stick.edu. So that's another way to ask questions. You can just use my email, especially if it's a quick question. I'll get back to you as soon as I can respond to that question. Okay. And then again, if you need more help, if you really need to meet with someone on a regular basis, then you really want to contact the Student Success Center at STIC. Okay. Let's go to, let me show you the course content link here. By the way, there's links to the textbooks, those free textbooks that I posted here as well, and then My Open Math. Okay, so there are quick links if you need those. So this is the other really important link, the course content. Here's where all of my videos are and links to the particular chapters in the textbook. So it's organized by module. So if I click on the first module, actually, let me do this as a student because I think it's slightly different as an instructor. Let me switch to a student. How do I do that? Okay, so now, so it was edit mode. So now I'm a student. So here's what you guys are going to see as students. So if you go to the first module on whole numbers, click on this. These are the links to all of my video lectures that I created, right, for each section. So if you click on that, it'll bring up a YouTube video.
Drinking water before bed burns
sometimes there's
in 2 weeks. If you are struggling to lose weight and you're
sometimes there's ads, so you want to just skip the ads. These are really important. This is exactly, I presented it exactly the way I would have if this were a face-to-face course. So if I were on, in the front of the room on a whiteboard, this is how I would present all the material. Okay, I try to be really thorough with all this material. So I really do expect that you guys will be watching these video lectures. It takes a little while because normally, this would be a 3-hour course, 1 night a week. So it may take, a couple hours to watch these video lectures. But I think it's really important that you do so, right? And unless it's completely just a review, like there's one section that you're really familiar with, you don't need to watch it as much. But in general, you want to watch these video lectures. So on average, right, it may take, 2.5 hours to get through all the video lectures. And then you're probably going to spend another couple of hours working on the My Open Math homework. So I would plan to spend a good 4 to 5 hours per week in this course. Okay, that's what you would do if it were a face-to-face course. So you want to spend about the same time, as an online course. So there's video lectures for each of the sections in each of the modules. Okay, the other thing, let me click through the pages here. Then there's optional, again, there's optional readings from those 2 textbooks, and I linked the particular section of the textbook that corresponds with the material. So like this one is on whole numbers. This is the Littman one. I think the Littman one is a little more relevant, although both are good. And then this is the OpenStax. In most sections, I have links to both textbooks. I think there's some sections where there's only a link to one or the other of the textbooks, so they don't have that information, but most of them have both textbooks. Okay, so if you find that useful, if you want to, get a different point of view from another author, then you should read these sections, especially if it's a section that you're very confused with. You might want to read the sections from the textbook. And then here on the 5th page, these are more videos. These are videos from Z Haddad, who has been teaching at STIC for, I don't know, like 30+ years. Very good teacher. He has also created his own video lectures for each of these chapters. So these are optional videos. If you want a different point of view, then you could watch these videos from Z Haddad. Okay, so it's not necessary, but some people find it useful to see, how different professors present the material. I would say definitely watch my videos primarily. And then if you want to get a different perspective, then you can watch these videos from Z. And then occasionally, and it depends on the module, I sometimes post these deeper dive videos, which go into the topic, a little deeper, a little more involved. You might, if you find this interesting, you can watch these, but these are completely optional. Okay, so then I went back to course content, and each module is outlined the exact same way, right? So first you have my primary videos, links to the textbook. So these are my primary videos for the second module, which remember we're split that up into 2 sections. So there's just 2 sections on the fractions. Then there's links to the sections in the textbooks if you want to read. And then optional videos from Z Haddad. And in this case, there was no deeper dive video, but some of them have deeper dive videos as well. So they're all the modules are organized exactly the same way. Okay. Okay, so that should give you a good idea of the course material, how it's going to run, how you're going to be graded. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can always email me and I can answer them as soon as I can immediately. All right, great. Well, have a great semester, and I will talk to you guys throughout the semester. Thanks.